This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino the Mayor here in a good-looking Monday morning. Packers coming off that nice win over the Seattle Seahawks last year. You know, I like John Schneider a lot, the general manager of Seattle, but some of that haunting game we lost against them a couple of years ago where we were like 2 minutes away from the Super Bowl.
Yep, they meltdown. That was
the worst collapse I'd ever seen.
That wasn't Seattle that won that game. It was us who lost it.
Yeah. That was
an awful game, and we were all at Titletown watching that. And the VCB was, or the Discover Green Bay now was there. All these people were all planning.
You were too. I was upstairs at Lambeau Field. Obviously, it was an away game, but I was doing the Packer postgame show at the time, and I was doing it through a studio at the Packers. Okay, and I'm sitting right outside the thing, and I'm on the phone about Super Bowl credentials.
Exactly.
I'm talking to my phone.
Rooms.
It's like, well, you know, I could even stay at my brother's in Arizona or whatever if we needed to. How many rooms? I was on the phone doing that, writing information down and looking up at the game every now and then. It's like, fake punt. Oh, that ain't good. Oh, well, here we go. Oh, interception. Okay, it's over. Game's over. Blah, blah, blah. And then that collapse. That one, haunted me.
Yeah, it was weird because we were with a bunch of people from, some from the city.
So what I'm saying is, I always want to beat Seattle.
Right. And it was that energy of we're all going to the Super Bowl. Everybody's high-fiving each other. It was like a pre-party. And it was... Yeah, anyway, I would agree that I thought of that as well. But,
and then that other one, when they had the replacement refs.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So anyway.
Well,
but anyway.
Okay, I mean, John's going to give us, we're going to get through this.
John
year.
Miller's going to be coming on.
He's going to give us the roadmap.
Packer game wrap-up. The Chiefs yesterday, Mahomes high ankle strain. That'll be interesting to see what happens with that. That's what I mean. This time of year, man, people getting hurt and all these kind of things. But
and it really counts now.
It really counts now. But, I mean, obviously the Packers are going to be in the playoffs. But the NFC North, holy mac. I mean, with the Lions, the Vikings, and now the Packers. And like Chris Collingsworth was saying last night, Packers have never been – he's like Matt LaFleur, one of his biggest problems was, holy man, they got the other tight end coming back now. Got to find a way to spread the ball around. They had all the receivers that healthy. Jair Alexander's getting healthy. It's like they are
peaking
the
right time.
He said, "Look out for the Green Bay Packers. It could be interesting." But anyway, Todd, should we give something away here?
Let's do it.
All right. It's our grown-up gift list. Text to win contest on 97.9 WGBW, 98.3 WISS. It's your chance to win $100 this hour in our statewide contest.
All right. And this hour's keyword is sleigh. SLEIGH, sleigh. So download the Civic Media app, find our station, and use the text button at the bottom of your screen to send the keyword sleigh for your chance to win this hour's prize.
Plus, you can qualify to win one of 8 grand prizes on our grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us.
All right, again, Civic Media app. Download it right now. Choose your station, WISS or WGBW. Text the word sleigh for your chance to win. You must text before 8 o'clock. The word is sleigh, and your next chance to play is after 11 o'clock with Jane Matinaire and Greg Bach on Matinaire on Air. Don't forget, we need your text because we're kind of in an internal contest.
Yeah.
And right now, John and Gordy are doing quite well.
Yeah.
Weare behind, right?
Are we?
We are behind.
Thanks, people.
Hey, come on.
Thanks.
But
Thanks.
Text. It's easy to do.
Really, it's so hard. I mean, you can grab your phone. I don't know how to do an app. You probably do. That's all you got to do.
Download the app. The word this hour is sleigh. You want to spell it one more time for me, Jim?
Sure. Sleigh.
SLAY.
See, that's why he asked me.
Don't do that.
That's why he asked me.
No.
SLEIGH. Sleigh, like
Exactly.
Santa's sleigh, not like
Okay, you got to tell the story you just told me when I was getting coffee, though, Todd.
Which one?
About somebody.
Oh, so a listener of WGBW was listening to our app on Friday.
Cool.
And Todd Alba, who is the noon till 2 host on Civic Media and is on WGBW and WISS, was actually broadcasting live from Seattle on Friday. I think he was doing some traveling for the holidays and whatever. So he was broadcasting from a restaurant there. And while he was on the air, one of our listeners showed up and sat down at the table with him. I don't know her name, but she was listening to our app, listening to our station on the app, and she stopped by to say hi.
That's in Seattle. That's
Seattle.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That's very cool. You know who else was out there? A good buddy Ryan from Midwest Restoration.
Yeah.
And I saw that his son was like in the fish thing, throwing the fish.
That is cool. Have you been out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Packers against Seattle, 1996.
Wow.
At the crappiest stadium. Now they have that gorgeous stadium. When I was there, they played in the Superdome. No, not the Superdome.
King
the
Dome.
King Dome.
Yeah.
And it was the same as the Silver Dome and those places that were just depressing. Or the worst one, Jim, you've been there, Metrodome. Remember the old Metro in Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Just no air.
No.
And
Just cheap.
Oh, it was horrible.
And you can judge a place by its bathrooms.
Yeah.
And just the trough.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle was the city I always wanted to end up in. That's where I wanted to live.
That's a good. I can see that.
me
That's
too.
very metropolitan. I mean, international city.
But 20 minutes, you're in the mountains, you know?
That and that their
It was the
downtown is
most
happening. Wachovia
picturesque.
was
Like where the
yeah.
college football stadium was. We went there, we could walk there. And like being in there and the mountains that's the most picturesque stadium I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Puget Sound and all that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It has a weird history because the city kept getting flooded because it's right on the ocean,
Right.
there, right? On the sound, Puget Sound. And it kept flooding. So what they did was they just basically bulldozed everything and built on top of it.
Oh, really?
But
I didn't
there's
know that.
still buildings and streets below the city. So you can actually go down there and see, well, this was a store and that was this. And
No kidding.
yeah, it's actually very, very cool.
Wow. I didn't see that in the movie, the TV show.
Sleepless?
No.
What?
No. Remember the TV show? Seattle wasn't the name of the TV show Seattle with I want to say David Cassidy, but not David Cassidy. But one of the heartthrobs.
I don't remember that.
Is always fine in Seattle. I
remember Frasier,
In Seattle. No, it was like in the late 60s. I'm going to say about 1969.
Well, then you would have been 11. You had a heartthrob then? That's good.
No, I
Johnny.
didn't have a
Who's
heartthrob.
this
No,
guy?
he was a heartthrob.
I
He
got it.
the cover of those magazines.
Don't remember that show.
The only thing that's coming up is a series called Here Come the Brides.
Yes. Do me a favor, please.
What do you need?
Play the intro to Here Come the Brides. Okay, this sounds weird that I'm remembering a show called Here Come the Brides. Don't take away my card for this. The sky is always bright in Seattle. You remember that? No?
I don't.
No?
don't.
Ran
No.
68 to 70.
There you go. Here we go.
I would turn the channel right now.
No, you wouldn't. I'm trying to think of the start. Not David Cassidy. Okay, wait for the vocals. That's going to be coming up any second now. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, rock song. Rock song. Yeah, nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Are you thinking of the guy that was on Starsky and Hutch?
no.
Blonde hair guy?
No.
He was in
David
it.
Soul?
David Soul was in it.
He was?
He was.
No, it was like a singing. He sang the theme song to it.
Well, David Soul was a singer.
I know. He had one hit. Oh, man. Ladies, come on.
I know.
Heartthrob, 1969. He was on the cover of all those teen magazine, Teeny Bop.
The Chachi guy?
Huh?
That Chachi.
No, not Tchotchke.
Here comes the
Okay.
one with the theme.
Sky you've ever seen in Seattle,
Wow, never heard it.
and the hills the greenest green in Seattle, like a beautiful child growing up, free and wild, full of hopes and full of fears, full of
It's like a
laughter,
little Brady
Full of
bunch.
cheers
full of dreams, like the year.
in Seattle.
Bobby Sherman.
Bobby Sherman, thank you. Thank you.
Bobby Sherman. No.
Remember Bobby Sherman?
No.
No? All right. See, I might have a weird memory, but I was close. I was close.
You were getting there.
I was
Yeah.
getting there. A lot of people remember that show.
That didn't really stick.
Well, 3 years,
No, it was 2 years, and I bet it was at the late
2.5.
No, 2 years. He said
68 through 70.
Yeah.
So 68, 69, and 70. 3 years.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good run. That's a good run.
The song though didn't.
Well,
The
I
Cleveland
think,
Rocks.
I think it was the number one hit.
Yeah.
It was top 10. Todd. Can
The
you look
song
this one
was?
up? Yeah.
No.
Look it up.
It was not.
See if it's top 10, please. I think it was a top. It was a top. Anything Bobby Sherman turned out in those days became a hit. It really did. You don't remember Bobby Sherman? Oh my gosh! How can you not remember Bobby Sherman?
It went to number 38 on the Hot Billboard 100
There you
chart
go.
and number 2 on the Easy Listening chart.
Thank you.
Yeah, easy. You didn't even know there wasn't easy
I
listening
did
charts
too.
till Todd just
Casey,
said that.
could you play Here Come the Brides and send it out to Julie? She's my love, and I gave her a turquoise ring. John, here's
Yeah,
your
there's-
long-distance
right.
dedication.
I gotta be honest with it. If I stumble upon Casey Kasem on a Sunday morning,
Oh, man, I still listen.
gotta listen.
Yep.
Gotta listen. I mean, you have to.
Because there's always also those nuggets in there that never became big hits, but
Yes.
maybe ended up at 25 or 30. You know?
Yes. No question. And now, a long distance dedication.
Yeah.
Dear Casey.
Did all right.
Yeah.
Up from number 9 last week to number 7 this week.
Yes. Oh, man. With a bullet?
With a
Remember
bullet.
that? With a
Yeah.
bullet. Number 7 with a bullet.
On great radio stations like WIXX in Green Bay.
He probably had staff writers to write those.
Oh, my gosh.
His
he
son,
didn't do
wasn't it
anything.
his son?
Huh?
Or no, who was?
Do
Oh,
you think those letters were legit? They weren't legit.
Oh,
were they?
I think the letters were
Do
legit
you?
back then. Oh, yeah. I think
Was
a
it
lot
like
of people.
Penthouse where they hire people to
No,
write? Okay,
no.
wow, all right.
What do you mean? What was that?
That was one of the biggest shows ever on radio during that time.
Wait a minute.
span.
What about the Penthouse thing?
I
Those were
thought-
legit.
No.
Penthouse Forum?
They had writers.
They were too. They had the guy's name. There's like Bob from San Diego.
Yeah. Oh, that Bob. Boy, I pinpoint him. Johnny, those. Come on.
You don't know
Those were
that.
written. Those were written. Did you read them? You know why you read them? They were addicting. They're
Somebody at school would always have the little forum thing.
right. The Penthouse Forum.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They hired writers to do that. I was asking Todd, did Casey Kasem hire people? Did they have a staff of writers to write the
I was
long
going to
distance
say yes,
dedications?
but then
he said no.
But then I know, but
And he
then
knows.
I realized who I was thinking of. Where it's like it really disappointed me when I heard this. Paul Harvey's son used to write his things.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
It's
Okay.
like, oh no! Wow.
Paul Harvey.
Good day.
Good day. Stand
now-
by for news.
This segment brought to you by Camp Fonique. Oh man, sitting with my mom listening to that.
Yes. That's
Mine
right.
on the Mayor, John Miller, NBC 26, Len Nelson, Steam. Stay with us.
You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Summer of 1969, Bobby Sherman, Julie, you love me. Right here in the big one, 97.9 FM, WGBW. Didn't exactly hit the post, did I, Todd?
No, but not bad. At least you knew the song.
It was close
Yeah.
and turning and burning. Remember this song?
Yeah, I do. This guy was at the Carlton.
Was he?
Yeah. I think he was.
I would think this would be the kind of guy that would play the Carlton.
Yes.
I mean, whatever happened to him, Todd?
Not sure.
I mean, he went from just huge heartthrob. You know what? So many of those guys ended up like alcohol, almost like killing them. I mean, David Cassidy, that
Oh,
basically
yeah.
happened to him. Who else? There were a couple. Who was the other guy, Todd? Leif Garrett.
Oh, Leif Garrett, yeah.
Really bad. I mean, just a lot of them, man, just hit the bottle and just, it wrecked them.
Yep.
Oh, what's his name? Eddie Van Halen. Not Eddie Van Halen. Was Eddie Van Halen? Who's married to Valerie Bertinelli?
Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you see him down the
Yeah.
stretch and everything? And
Yeah.
wow.
Bobby is 81 years old.
Come on.
Still around.
Bobby Sherman is 81 years old.
Yep.
Oh, man. For the ladies that like our generation, text us. Who are your heartthrobs? Who are your, like, if you're walking through the grocery store and you had that magazine rack and you saw somebody on the cover that you'd want to buy it and whatever, let us know, ladies only, okay, fellas? Ladies only. Who is your pop heartthrob back in that era? We'd like to know. They don't even have those magazines anymore, I'm sure, right?
Well, it's all online now, right?
That's what I mean.
My sister's always loved Sean Cassidy, David Cassidy's brother.
Oh, that's right.
Sean Cassidy did a little music.
That's right. And then his mom was the Partridge Family lady, right?
Right.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. Because she was married to Jack Cassidy.
You know, I'll tell you something. I still am a huge fan of magazines. In fact, somebody gave me a big stack of, I think they brought them here.
Bosses brought them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I love the old magazines then when you go through them. I got like old Life magazines and Look magazines from the 60s and 70s. And it's funny reading about history, you know, when they're talking about these things before you knew how it was going to end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like, wow, did they know something I didn't know? That is pretty cool to read that stuff. It's like, wow, this was before it happened. Yeah.
Before it ended.
Yeah. And they're not predicting, but they're just, they're giving you a feel for how things are going.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what,
No,
when
I
we're talking
agree.
about bosses, I still love going into that store. I know it's in downtown De Pere now. Beautiful building, actually, they've got. I mean, it's really cool and really whatever and all that kind of stuff. But if you're looking for like a stocking stuffer, if you're doing something like that, go down there and just check it out. They've got, because magazines now are almost like books. I mean, in some ways, like the cookbook magazines. I mean, it's you'll not find another store any place in Northeast Wisconsin, at least, like Boss's News in downtown De Pere, with the amazing variety of magazines and newspapers. That's the only place I know where you can still go and buy like the New York Times or something.
Yeah.
Take advantage of Boss's News downtown De Pere, because there might not ever be another one like it.
Yeah. I got to support those people. Hey, I was reading something this morning. I want to ask you about this. They did the Christmas cookies. You know, that's coming up too.
What is?
Christmas cookies. Right? My mom made them this weekend.
Oh, making Christmas cookies.
Right.
Yeah,
and
sure.
she had her granddaughters over to make. But anyway, it has the 50 states, their most popular Christmas cookies.
Okay.
So, like, what is ours? Just tell you gotta guess.
Ours?
There's M&M. There's almond cookies. There's gingerbread cookies. That's Oklahoma. There's just different. What do you think Wisconsin's like number one Christmas cookie is?
I'm going to defer that to my, what's it, dial a friend, call a friend?
Phone a
Kristen,
friend.
Phone a friend. Kristen Ambos.
Phone a friend.
What would you say is the most popular Wisconsin Christmas cookie?
The sugar cookie
Yep.
with the
That's
what?
actually what I was
frosting.
going to go with, too.
All right, but here's West Virginia,
And
which
sprinkles.
is
Yeah.
the sugar cookies. Ours is, but I think it's the same thing. The Spritz cookies.
I don't know what a Spritz cookie is. What is that?
I think it's a sugar cookie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I could buy that.
Yeah.
But it's one. Did your mom do that where they like cut one's a tree?
Of course.
And then one's okay.
Oh, that's the most fun part of being a
Okay,
king.
I think that's a Spritz cookie. I think that's what a Spritz cookie is. Is that that dough that everybody likes before you cook it,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then make it into shapes. I think that's it. And anyway, they were going through the 50 states and their most popular cookie, and Wisconsin's was a Spritz cookie. I'm like, what is that? So I had to look it up.
Everybody did that when you were a kid, though. I mean, that was a blast.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it is. You're right. It's kind of the ones that use the piping thing, and they make those. They make different stars and trees and
Yeah,
stuff
right.
out of them. That's
Okay.
what a Spritz cookie
Yeah.
is.
Gotcha.
So that's number one cookie in Wisconsin. So
I don't
my-
like gingerbread. I don't like anything
no the
gingerbread.
There's a couple of them that are gingerbread here. Just
it's got to be the
will
right
you-
gingerbread.
Oklahoma-
Hit or miss.
something.
You know who number one cookie in there? The state gingerbread number one cookie. Oklahoma.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Give me a little Oklahoma. Give me a little Oklahoma. I was singing Seattle. You sing Oklahoma.
I'm
Come
yeah,
on.
yes, no, I do like that.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes raking down the rain.
I
Right?
at Georgia too. This
They couldn't pick a better time to start in life.
It ain't too early and it ain't too late.
Starting as a farmer with a brand new wife.
Soon be living in a brand new state. Brand new state.
I love
Gonna treat you great. Gonna
gonna give you barley, carrots, and potatoes.
I can see you doing this. Were you in this?
I took the kids to.
Oh, potatoes.
I took the kids to Oklahoma. That's a great. Oklahoma City's a great city.
I was gonna say, I think that's a state I've never been to.
That is happening. They've got green space. Everybody thinks it's just these tumbling weeds, but it is just a great city. Anyway, so we get to the airport and we walk through, and Greta's singing this this Oklahoma, and the guy's like just at the top of her lungs. That's a great musical, yes.
But anyway, I got a picture. This is what the Spritz cookies are. This is the actual Spritz cookie.
Oh yeah, I love
So these
those.
are kind of
that's
come
what
in
I'm
the little
talking
round cans.
Yep, I love those.
Yes.
Well, you make them though, right?
Yeah, I know, but you would always get them in the. I used to love those little. I used to
They're
save
almost like
those.
butter cookies.
Yes, yes, good call.
Yes.
That's what it would be.
Not
And they were great
sugar
for
cookies,
dunking.
But yes, and coffee.
Yes.
Used to dunk them in coffee with my grandma all the time.
And hot chocolate.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Love them. I'm a
I
fan
could
of
listen
the
to
Spritz
this
cookie.
all day.
Okay, Jim.
I bet you could. I used to drink coffee when I was like in the first grade. I'd have a cup of coffee before I'd go to school. Isn't that bizarre?
It's hilarious.
We would pour it in a saucer and then slurp it out of the saucer so it was cooler. Anybody else do that?
I'm listening to this song. Man. This is awesome.
Kristen Ambos, Point
All right.
Mortgage,
Good
John Miller,
morning.
NBC 26 also coming up down the road here. We're going to put you in the bullpen for one quick second. Is that okay,
got
Kristen?
It. You got it.
All right, we got to set a quick break. Maino in the mirror. Back after this.
Every night we sit alone and talk and watch the hawk making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land. Yo ho, and the land we belong to is grand. Yippee-ki, yippee-ki.
You're an organ donor, right? Well, here's a tragic fact. Approximately 20 people die each day waiting for precious donated organs. You could make a life-saving decision simply by getting that important dot on your driver's license. That little dot shows those who need to know that you've made a decision to donate organs at a critical time. Go to heroicdeed.com to learn more about the importance of organ donation and how you can make your wishes known. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. heroicdeed.com.
For WGBW and WISS News, I'm Lisa Hale. 2 Shawano County men died Saturday morning after an accident in the town of Lesser. Shawano County Sheriff's officials say the men, who were 25 and 26 years old, were thrown from the vehicle during a crash at Landstadt Road near Fraser Corner Road. When deputies arrived on the scene, they found the men dead and the pickup truck with severe damage. Officials are still investigating and ask anyone with information to call the Shawano County Sheriff's Office. Beginning in February, Wisconsin Medicaid members who don't have secure housing will have a new benefit through the state. The new program is for Medicaid members who are experiencing housing insecurity and are also affected by substance use or mental health conditions. It's intended to offer a support system grounded in stability, dignity, and well-being that secure housing can provide. The benefit does not cover rent or ongoing expenses, but does provide ongoing assistance and counseling. People throughout much of Northeast Wisconsin are asked to give their input in a survey from public health departments, local nonprofits, and area hospitals like Theta Care, Advocate Aurora Health, Ascension Health, and Children's Wisconsin. The survey is designed to uncover the true needs of community members. People living in Calumet, Green Lake, Marquette, Menominee, Shawano, Outagamie, Wapaka, Waushara, or Winnebago counties are asked to take the survey between now and January 17th. See the story on our website for a link to the survey. Organizers say it will help to shape future plans for improving the well-being of our communities. From local news to what's going on around the state, Civic Media's mission is to bring you real news and great conversation. I'm Lisa Hale for WGBW and WISS News. For news anytime, visit civicmedia.us.
All right, don't forget, we've got our grown-up gift list text to win contest going on this hour with 97.9 WGBW, 98.3 WISS, and the rest of the state on the Civic Media Radio Network. Your chance this hour to win $100. If you haven't done so already, grab that Civic Media app, get it downloaded, choose your station, WISS or WGBW, and text in the word SLAY. like that thing Santa drives in, right? SLEIGH, sleigh. That's the word of the hour. Got to get that in before 8 o'clock for your chance to win $100 and qualify for one of 8 grand prizes that you can find at civicmedia.us. Back to Maino and the Mayor. Here's John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. We got a text here from Nancy. A Spritz cookie is more of a butter cookie. You use a metal tube to press the cookies out into their shapes.
And that metal tube is, I think we still.
I can visualize that.
Right.
You got
it's got the little
end
Christmas
thing.
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Thanks for that. When I read that this morning, I'm like, I didn't even know what that was. I can be honest. If they would have said a little tree that comes out of a silver tube, I would have been like, oh, I know what that is. But that is a good cookie.
But then you could put different things on the end of it, right?
Totally different. Yeah, they're just like a little cylinder. You can put on different shapes, sizes.
Those are actually really good.
They are.
And those are really good.
And it's a cool thing to. Well, do you make Christmas cookies with your?
Me, absolutely.
He doesn't. Anyway, Mom made them this weekends with her granddaughters.
When I was a little kid, I did, of course.
Yeah, but is that like is that a Maino tradition? They come over like on Saturday and make cookies and gingerbread houses.
No, we did not make gingerbread houses. We made chippy traps.
Chippy traps.
Is that cereal?
No, it's when you take. We used to break it. We used to make them out of when my grandma would get the grapes to make her wine, and they'd come in these cool boxes. And that entire wooden box, you could make one complete chippy trap. It was a trap. It was a live trap to trap chipmunks.
Oh, jeez, no. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I thought we were talking about some
kind
kind
of
of
the
cookie.
same thing.
Yeah, totally. That has to do with cookies.
Who hasn't made a chippy trap in their life?
I think 3 of us out of the 4 who are in this room.
Quick pull. You ever make guys? You ever make a chippy trap when you're a kid?
Chippy,
yes or no?
What a weird name. That's like a rat trap.
Yes.
Not chippy, but chippy sounds like.
Sometimes you'd catch rats.
But you sounds like you want to keep it as a pet, chippy.
No, you'd let him go.
Okay.
Although, can I tell you something kind of tragic?
Quickly.
What else do they do? Sometimes I think they'd pound their head so hard against the door trying to get out, it would kill them. I mean, it's not a good. I know it's.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Family show.
All right. Hi, Kristen.
Good morning.
Are people you are helping people save money, do the right thing with their mortgage?
We're trying.
Are people?
We're trying to not get them into a chippy trap.
There you go.
Right.
Or a barrel and toss into the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Are people buying now?
What's going on with the market right now? Yeah, they are.
Good.
November and December were crazy awesome months. They really are.
And normally they're the quiet months.
They are. They are.
Everything is changed. Everything is like.
It really is. Because we can really be a seasonal business depending on what's going on here.
Right.
Because of the weather and people don't want to move in the winter and things like that. So, no, it's going really, really well. Rates are staying steady. They did come out in the last couple of weeks and, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac and all the big powers that be. And they did, change their status on where they think rates are going to go next year. And they're going to probably stay in the low to mid 6s.
That's not bad.
But here's my take on it. That's really good for our housing industry. Right now in our market, we have somewhere between a 5 and 7% appreciation. And then if you can keep the rates really steady on that and keep that appreciation going up, that's a really healthy market.
Oh,
nice.
And if it goes too fast and the rates come down too fast, all you're going to do is drive those prices back up.
Okay, those are
Exactly.
two beautiful dogs. See, what are those?
Wow.
Huskies?
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
huh? Aren't they?
We just walked by with their 2 huskies. I would agree with you on when
I thought there's some weird guy outside of her. It's Todd taking pictures of him. I thought some weird guy was out there taking pictures.
When when the rates go down too low, it does drive prices up too much, and then people want that price. But when
absolutely,
there's 2 sides to every equation. I mean, there's still some cash buyers out there, but there's
sure.
not a lot of them.
Yeah, and it really depends on the price point too. But I will say I've helped more people in the last 2 months than I have probably in the last 2 years who wouldn't have had a chance at another market get into homes in this market with still affordable rates. Getting home inspections. There's some things that have changed because there's not as big of a crowd of people going into the market right now, and so that really helps the people that maybe haven't had a shot in the last couple of years.
So at Point Mortgage, you have a plethora, right? Of
loan programs,
programs, the packages. Tell me something that somebody came in thinking, well, I'm going to borrow 30-year fixed at this, and there was something. What's better than that?
Well,
I would say a 15-year.
Yeah, I was going to say the easy answer is probably a 15-year if you're looking to pay it off.
Right.
Right now, though, the 15-year rates aren't really being invested as much as the 30-year. So that means that the difference in interest rate isn't that much. You're probably looking at maybe 1/4 to 3/8% difference than the 30-year rate. So then I could argue take the 30-year rate and pay it off faster.
If you have the discipline to do that, that would be the way to do it.
If you have the discipline to do that,
Right.
that would be the way to do it.
Yes.
Okay, everybody was saying for months and months and months, everybody was saying, well, let's wait until the election, then see what happens. Okay, election's over.
Yep.
It's been over. We know what's going to happen down the road.
Yep.
Do you see any sort of a flux once that the entire thing happens, after the nomination or after the, what do you call it? Not coronation.
Swearing in.
Swearing in.
Yeah.
Inauguration. Yeah.
Oh, okay, inauguration.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, or do you think, okay, all that stuff is over. This is where it's at right now. Let's just move forward. We know where it's at.
So
Because people were waiting, kind of, weren't they?
They were like, I'm not doing anything till after the election.
Yep.
When the election was over, in all fairness, we did see a swing of people come back into the market. I think it was because they just, now it's done.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
they
I don't
know
think
what to expect.
I don't think the inauguration's going to move it. I think he's
It's done. Boom. This is
in.
we.
Yes.
He's got
It is what it
cabinet.
is.
He's
Okay.
got.
Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of. He got invited over to Notre Dame. I mean, I've seen Biden was, but look, this guy is kind of in charge, and
Yep.
it's going to be that way for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's going to change. I
Me
think the
either.
American public have
So do I.
agreed on that.
I mean, at least we
as
know
a
now.
whole.
Okay,
Right.
This is
At
what
least
it
we
is.
know now. And
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
There's no reason to hesitate now.
Correct.
And wait till the 20th. I mean, the guy's going to get sworn in. It's all going to happen. So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
if this is a good time to buy and you're not as busy so you can, really focus on it, why not buy a house this time of year? I mean,
Right. And the weather, yes, we did have a little bit of a cold snap this week, but the weather is relatively, stable. It's
Yeah, that's great.
decent.
Hey,
It's
I
not
remember when
raining.
I was in
It's
real
not-
estate,
well, it's not
probably
raining,
every
yes,
realtor
it's
could
misting.
say this. I remember showing up on a Saturday morning for an open house and had to go to a neighbor's house where it is to borrow a snow shovel to shovel out the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
So people can put down salt so somebody doesn't
And we
slap.
don't have that right
It's
now.
like,
No,
so
I
that's
love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Didn't I read something, though, that November houses lasted, new listings lasted longer in November than like a year and a half or something that this past November, correct?
I would say.
Yeah.
I would say any agent you talked to probably felt that same thing. We saw some some price reductions, things like that. And it's sometimes, in the realtor's defense, the sellers want to start higher.
Yeah.
Because they still think that it's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, against maybe what the
Yeah, I know what you-
recommendation is.
Right.
Recommendation of.
I know.
And then they have to end up coming down a little bit. Sometimes it's the time of the year. There's so
But
much
if
that
you
goes into
don't,
it.
correct me if I'm wrong, and I know this isn't your. I mean, you're
Yeah.
more into loaning the money than
Yep.
selling the house.
Yep.
Okay, but Jim, you're in it as a realtor. You almost have to say, okay, what price do you want? And because otherwise, if you get an offer, they'll be like, we should have had it higher.
Yeah.
We should have. You have to let them do it, or else.
And it is their
Yes,
decision.
it
I
is.
mean,
It is. It's their absolutely. It's their property.
But I do think people who go like crazy over the price, 50,000. It's like, come on, these comps all were at whatever 250. We go to 300,000. But then you reduce it by 25,000, or then another 5. People might think something's wrong with your house too, and you don't want that.
Exactly. And so that's why just working with a really good realtor,
Right.
honestly, is hands down the best. I was just reading an article where they said approximately, and this is nationwide, but if you sell with a realtor, the average money you make is $77,000 more than if you did it on your own. And I have multiple examples where I've dealt with the buyer on the for sale by owner and the seller refused to use a realtor. And we would get the appraisal and there's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of equity that the buyers are walking into. And the buyers were willing to use a realtor, but the seller said no because they knew better. And it's just one of those where they are legal contracts and it's so important. I'm not saying that people can't do for sale by owner, but it is so important to have the right team of a realtor, a lender, who knows what they're doing, giving you your options, and then leading you. Not telling you what to do, but leading you to help you make the right decision so you know all the different options.
Well, that's a
Because
good
you might not
realtor.
know.
There are realtors who you always talk about the seller that is setting this price. Sometimes
Right.
realtors buy listings too, and they say,
absolutely.
They'll say this is worth 300,000.
You know what? I used to hate, and not gonna say names or anything where I've worked one time, but these people, there would be a couple of realtors that would do this. They would get a listing and they would say, listen, I promise you, I'm gonna get like 10 offers. I'm gonna work so hard, I'm gonna get a bunch of offers. Well, what they would do is put it at a lower price than it should be.
100%.
And then they'd convince their sellers, like, look at what I'm doing for you. Look at these offers I got.
All the time.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And then we have the wars, and then now we're mad because the appraisal didn't come in, but there were 25 offers.
Tell your friends, I got you 20 offers.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a double-edged sword to everything.
Yeah.
So with Point Mortgage,
I can say one quick thing though.
Yep.
I think of when you and I went over to the casino that day, and we saw somehow, and what we were, I mean, when
You
we
were talking about,
we
you
went
know.
to volunteer at the church.
I was
that
like,
day.
where are we going with casino and
No,
housing?
but we did it.
Usually I'm like,
We
don't
did it for
gamble.
like 3 weeks in a row, and we were surprised because we took the same route that some of those houses.
Oh, that's right.
Were,
Okay.
hadn't had an exception.
on our way to church, we passed those
and I made that
houses.
same
Yeah.
thing when I was going to the cathedral the other day to drop off stuff. I
They're
felt
still
good
there.
about this. And there were some small houses,
Right.
like starter homes. It's like, thank you for
Yeah.
these young people that are looking for.
Yes.
It's like,
Right.
here's one. I would
That's
jump
awesome.
on that right now.
Absolutely. Some of the problem is those houses aren't fancy enough for our first time home buyers or our younger people.
Okay,
So then
go
what's
pay
happening?
rent.
The investors are coming up.
Yeah.
So it's a really big and it has been a really big investor time.
Are flips back?
I think it all depends on the price of the house because if you pay a high price for a house and you still need to put the money into it, now the return on investment, the cost effectiveness isn't there.
Yeah.
But it's amazing the rents that they're getting in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised when I read some of that stuff, and I can see an investor picking up a number of properties and doubling the rent, and he's still going to rent, or she's still going to rent them.
Yep, absolutely.
So, with Point Mortgage, and tell me how we contact you, because you really can't do. You have so many programs. What do you have? 100 programs to offer?
Way more than that, but I try to keep it around 100 because nobody even wants that many. You know what I mean? I pick out my favorites.
100 different programs.
options?
Well, they have
There's-
veterans, and they have all that
Yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
I
stuff.
got
But they
you.
also got some, 30-year fixed. They got the arms. They got all sorts of things that.
Yes.
And all the products, which is great about
Yes.
your company.
We got to set a quick break. John Miller, NBC 26, will be joining us. Kristen Ambos, Point Mortgage. Stay with us, please.
You got it.
Back after this.
Thank you.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
People don't care who they heard of me. A woman will sell her precious body.
Hey, welcome back. Maino the Mayor here on a beautiful Monday morning. Green Bay Packers win over the Seattle Seahawks last night, which was a beautiful thing. Lions get knocked off in an unbelievable game. I'll tell you what, that Josh Allen, he is amazing. What a stud that guy is.
He is, man.
I really
Run.
like him.
Yeah.
Man, he's something else. Do we have our man John Miller on? John Miller, NBC 26 Sports Director. John, good morning. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
It's always a good morning when the Packers get a victory, right?
Right.
That was a sweet day of watching football yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of good games. Too bad I was working on the pregame show to really enjoy it, but it's nice to see the Lions get humbled a little bit.
But I'll tell you what, and one of my friends texted me, a Lions fan, and I said, boy, but that team won't quit. It's like, remember Monty Python where they cut off the guy's arm? It's only a flesh wound. Todd, give me a little bit of that. It's a flesh wound. No, it's not a cut off your arm.
You seem to be doing quite well.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
don't think we
need
did.
to
Yeah,
find it.
just take a break, Todd.
Then he
Yeah.
cuts off his legs.
Jeez.
Just
I
a flesh
enjoyed
wound. No, it's not. I cut off your leg. I'm sorry, John.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So they were humbled a
But they
little
won't
bit.
stop the line. That Jared Goff. John, what is it? Two quarterbacks. Jim and I were talking about this. Jim brought it up. Two quarterbacks. They're basically discarded by their former teams, come into the NFC North, and are just incredible. I mean, Darnold in Minnesota, and here Goff in Detroit.
And those guys weren't treated well where they were before. And so you talk about coaching. I mean, you got to design the plays and get your staff, but that has a lot to do with taking someone and saying, look, I'm going to make you the star you should be. And it's incredible. I'm really happy for those guys. I think it's great because that would have been lost talent selling cars.
I would have been fine if they were doing that. What do you think, John?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's, some guys it just takes finding the right system. I interviewed Mike Holmgren on Friday, and he was talking about that same exact thing with Geno Smith turning around his career.
Another
sometimes
one, yeah.
It just takes a guy finding the right system and the right coach, and sometimes these guys are thrust into starting way too early, and they don't get any time to develop, and then they finally hit their stride with a new team and Ben Johnson's one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL for the Lions. So what he's done with Jared Goff is not surprising.
Were you surprised? Did you watch the Lions game? Did you get a chance to watch it down the stretch?
I did not get to watch it down the stretch.
I'll tell you what. You know how Campbell has such a reputation being a gambler and doing whatever. I thought it was kind of funny with like 12 minutes left, and he does the onside kick. And again, they got that dumb rule where you have to tell the people you do an onside kick and whatever. And the guy almost returned it for a touchdown, and then they did score a touchdown on it. That one really blew up in his face.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But, yeah, I also hate that rule. It takes the element of surprise out of it. We'll never get the 06 Saints Super Bowl halftime onside kick again.
Absolutely. What do you think of the – I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, is that temporary or is that is that
it's a Goodell thing?
Don't we try that stuff for a year or two?
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that locked?
Let's hope it's temporary.
I know. That's dumb.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody's saying that. I wonder what the players and teams think about it. That is not something for the fans to say, look, this is our next play.
Right.
I don't want to hear that.
That's never been done in all of sports history where you have to tell the other team what you're going to do.
This is our next.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, I hope that.
Baseball's trying to implement that golden at bat rule where you can just throw your best player in at any given time. So.
Yeah, that's true. Or put the guy on second base in extra innings.
I hate that, too. Don't get me started.
John, what did you think of the Packers' performance?
Oh, it was probably their biggest victory of the year. Outside of the Texans, it's definitely their biggest win. But they were dominant. They started out fast. They started off hot. Josh Jacobs, I think he had 43 of the Packers' first 48 yards on their first touchdown drive. Jordan Love is hitting his stride. He started out that game 9 for 9 for over 108 yards. This team is starting to click. The pass rush was clicking yesterday, 7 different players with a sack. I'm sure the offense slowed down in the second half, but the defense really stepped up, and that's they won 30-13. They're rolling.
What do you think of the NFC North right now? Give me the hierarchy heading towards the playoffs. And let me ask you this. I know that win last night put the Vikings in, which is, that was foregone. It's going to happen anyway. Right. Do you see the Packers having a chance? I know the Vikings are still on the schedule. Do the Packers have a chance to get at least one notch up with a better playoff spot?
Oh, yeah. They're going to need some help. The Vikings are going to have to lose a couple games. But, yeah, they definitely have a chance. But to me, it's either way, they're going to have a playoff game on the road. So it's just win and get in and be as hot as possible going into the playoffs. And, hey, anybody can win it. As we've seen a few 6 seeds make a run in the playoffs. And that's where they're at right now.
Jim brought it up earlier. We were talking. Well, actually, no, I think it was Friday or last week. And he brought up a great point. He goes, I don't want them to play home. Go on the road for the playoffs.
Yeah,
I agree. The Lambeau mystique is kind of over. Go on the road and play somewhere warm and let Jordan Love sling it.
And the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Not all on the road.
Every game.
Exactly.
And that doesn't really bother me. The home game, what saddens me a little bit is the economic impact to our local community, $14 million, and just everybody wins on that. And that's not going to happen, but I don't know. Would I take a win over that?
But, the thing is, though, too, here's the deal. Like in the old days when you talk about the Packers and the glory, those guys have been here for like 10 years. They practice outside all the time. When you bring up a team like the Cowboys or somebody that hadn't experienced that, but nowadays they're indoors so often with practice. These young guys from Alabama and Tennessee and Texas and Florida, they're not saying, welcome to frozen tundra, boy. Because we're used to this.
This is our home. Yeah.
It's not. They would much rather play in a controlled climate. Wouldn't you say, John?
Oh, absolutely. Jordan Love said it before the Lions game. He said, I would prefer to play in a dome, when it's cold out. But, we like using that home field advantage. But, they definitely don't enjoy playing out in the cold.
Well, John Miller, can you stick around? We're going to send her a quick break.
Sure.
John Miller, NBC 26. We're not keeping away from your bench press, are we?
Jeez, I saw him Friday.
No.
How many reps?
I had bench pressing today, though.
How many reps?
Yeah, I don't. What do you?
All right.
Hold
that thought. We'll be back right after this.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.